Dear audience, dearly welcome to the mini-seminar Innovation Extractives, focusing on oil and mining. And we're trying today to illustrate these issues, particularly in the Arctic region. My name is Otto Bruun, and I'm working with mineral extraction in the Finnish Association for Nature Conservation, and I'll act as chair in this session. And we have some questions with us from previous business and biodiversity events prepared by the staff for this session, and I think it's worth to read those out to take them with us. So firstly, what are the key findings and policy recommendations from the Arctic Biodiversity Assessment? Secondly, what are the opportunities and strengths of proactively engaging with biodiversity conservation? And what are the challenges? Thirdly, how can responsible oil and mining companies take biodiversity into account in their activities and mitigate their negative ecological impacts? Fourthly, how can businesses work with policymakers and biodiversity-related organizations to enable the business sector to deliver better biodiversity conservation outcomes? Fifthly, are there innovations that contribute to biodiversity and nature protection? Sixthly, are there opportunities for fostering new business models? And what are the future perspectives and the way forward in this area? And finally, what are the recommendations from the sessions? We've got a very impressive panel today, although one panelist is still missing, but we'll hope she arrives shortly. So to introduce them quickly and spare as much time as possible for discussion, we've got with us Mr. Tom Barry, who is Executive Secretary for Conservation of Arctic Flora and Fauna, known as CAP. And he's been one of the people pulling together the Arctic Biodiversity Assessment, which is a very important tool for people working in this area. Then we've got Ms. Ana Alicia Watson Jimenez, who is a biodiversity analyst at Repsol, who will be presenting the view from the oil sector. And thirdly, we've got with us Mr. Warwick Mosters, who is biodiversity manager at the Bears company, and he'll be given their perspective on managing biodiversity, and he has a very long-standing experience in this field for over a decade. So we'll be looking forward to those presentations and hoping that Dr. Mitzi Polisko will yet... Oh yes, she's come. Warmly welcome, please join the stage. So our second presentation will be given by Dr. Mitzi Polisko, who is the principal terrestrial ecologist at GHD. And she'll be focusing today on gas, oil and mining in Southeast Asia. So those are the very involved actors in this sector, and we'll be looking forward to those after some few introductory words by myself. So the question is, when we talk about business and biodiversity, how do we come to focus on mining and oil? I think some key figures will, after some key figures, we will see that as quite self-evident, as the industry's output rose 27-fold during the 20th century, and even faster than output. During 2002 to 2012, we saw production of iron ore globally increasing by 180%, cobalt by 144%, and coal by 44%. And I think the UNEP resource panel has highlighted to us that the land use impact and other impact of these mining projects are similarly increasing. And I think that has given a lot of space for proactive business leaders in this area to bring out proactive solutions as well during the last 10 to 12 years. This is particularly crucial as we estimate that by 2050 the global demand will increase by a further 60%. Demand for minerals measured in gigatons. The other reason for highlighting the issue is that, as Julia Marton-Lefebvre highlights, valuable mineral and important biodiversity seem to have the common habit of sharing the same spaces in a landscape. And this is even highlighted in the fact that the selected natural World Heritage sites, 1/3 of them are currently under planning for different extractive projects or under threat. And I think this report by WWF in October 2015 raises the issue that even the select few natural treasures of the globe are implicated by the issue that we're discussing today. There are a number of initiatives, a few of them listed here, and I think we'll hear about them more during the presentations, which have raised the issue of biodiversity and the mining and extractive industries. And I think it's good to highlight that we're on a continuation of the Convention on Biological Diversity space, as well as we're continuing from what went on in Montreal in 2013. In the session today, we'll be using the Arctic as the illustrator of these trends, while also taking in examples from, for instance, Southeast Asia and elsewhere. This is something that I noticed particularly in my own work focusing on extractive industries in the Arctic region, where there has been a new dynamism, to say the least. The issue in the Arctic is further highlighted by the linkages between climate change, biodiversity, and the extractive industries, which are well highlighted in the Arctic Biodiversity Assessment, and which I'm sure we'll hear more about very soon. The session headline is innovation, and I think it will be very interesting to raise the issue and use the space here to see how people in the sector and in business in general sees innovation in the mining sector going forward. And I'm sure we'll be coming back to this in the Q&A part at the end. So thanks a lot for your attention, and I'll be inviting the first speaker. You're very welcome, Tom Barry. Thanks.